Alright guys, I'm going to try and be a little PG as I can. So, as you guys can tell, we are standing right here at Yonge-Dundas Square. This is a very popular public space that has seen hundreds of thousands of tourists, locals, each year. And on this Friday afternoon, it's as busy. It's very busy, but not as what you would see on weekends. And look, there's Johnny Strides, whom I just met up with like 10 minutes ago for like 45 seconds, and he's gonna be doing a video talking about the same thing I will be talking about, and that is why the city is going to be wasting taxpayers' money on renaming Yonge-Dundas Square 2 subway stations with Dundas in it, and then eventually the whole freaking street. So I'm just gonna give my whole thoughts on this, as there's also a well, I think they disappeared now, but there was a global news cameraman and a reporter. She was holding up a sign of what will be the new name. I'm gonna get into that in a couple of minutes. So, let me just pull up my phone here. So, this is my 6th time. This is my 6th attempt of making the video like this. Okay, so yesterday, I'm reading from CBC by the way, Toronto City Council voted Thursday to rename Yonge-Dundas Square to Sankofa Square and recommended a host of other landmarks be stripped of the Dundas name over connections to the transatlantic slave trade. And the move comes over 3 years after Council first received a petition raising concerns about the name at the height of the Black Lives Matter protests. So, in a late Council session last night, Councilors voted 19-2 to rename this public space here, and Jay Robertson, who represents the ward here, and Stephen Holliday, who represents Ward 2, voted against the move. And this whole thing has just gained popularity from City of Toronto from City Council. It's just ridiculous. But here's the main backstory behind this, as Johnny is just heading. He's just been circling around here. I don't know if he's like starting over like I've been, because you know, we've been like jumbling our. I don't know. I gotta see his video once it's up. But anyway, Dundas streets and other similarly named landmarks are named after Henry Dundas, a Scottish politician active from the 1770s to the early 1800s, when the British Parliament was debating slavery abolition motions. So I'm just gonna skip all this. And here's the most stupidest part of where this news comes from. They have already recommended a name, right? A new name for this new for Yonge-Dundas Square. Oh my god, it's so stupid. The name is gonna be Sankofa Square by the second quarter of 2024. Now, that is the stupidest freaking thing I have heard. The name doesn't suit the whole freaking place. Like, what purpose does it even get? And they're gonna waste all this taxpayers' money to literally rename Yonge-Dundas Square and the 2 subway stations here, while taking a break on renaming the whole freaking streets, right? Like, what's the freaking point of doing that now, right? When you're just gonna take a break on it. Like, City of Toronto, you should just give up on this already. Now, let's go back to the backstory here. So, according to Councillor Chris Moyes, the concept of Sankofa, originating in Ghana, refers to the act of reflecting on and reclaiming teachings from the past, which enables us to move forward together. Okay, now I understand that the Henry Dundas situation was it's very complicated, it's controversial, but you could at least pretend that he didn't put any what's the word I'm looking for? Whatever, like history or anything that had to do with this, right? Though again, bottom line is the whole thing is pointless, it's stupid, and it's just again, once again, they're gonna spend around $14 million on this whole thing. It's an abomination. It's so stupid. Look, Johnny's coming back here. And I'm probably gonna be on his video because look, we're talking about the same thing respectively. Look, he's coming this way. So, while all of this stupidity is happening, the Yonge-Dundas Library will also be renamed by the second or third quarter. And the motion also recommended that Dundas and Dundas West subway stations will be renamed in the fourth quarter of 2024 and 2025 respectively. And as for Dundas Street, council received a petition signed by 14,000 people in June 2020 calling for it to be renamed. And even Olivia Chow supports this. She says that Dundas' actions were horrific and then he wanted to delay the end of the slave trade over concerns about who would work on colonial plantations. Yeah, like, I feel... Let me just close this off here. Like, we just got money, billions of dollars from the Ontario government, and this is what the hell you're gonna spend it on something pointless. Nobody is gonna ever call it Sankofa Square. It's almost like the abomination of how, you know, the Skydome changed to the Rogers Center in 2005. Like, Skydome will always be Skydome, but I don't know about you guys. To all my fellow Torontonians, what the hell do you think of this? What do you think? Let me know in the comments if you agree with me or you disagree. At least be respectful. But I'm sure by the time this video goes live, I'm sure all you guys are going to agree with me because this name is really weird. It just doesn't fit this public space. I've been lingering around here for nearly half an hour doing 6 attempts of a video. Trying to make it look good, while Johnny Strides behind me is doing his own. He's just circling around, so I am definitely in one of his. But just before it started, like I saw Global News, they just came out interviewing people, and they got Johnny Strides in it. And then when I caught up with him, he was about to start his video, and he's like, "You should go and interview." No, I don't want to be on TV. I don't even watch Global News. But yeah, this is just a total fluke to the city. I will always call this place, I will always call this place Yonge-Dundas Square, right? And not to mention that, they're going to make changes to the hundreds of street signs along Dundas Street, as well as make changes to maps, businesses, and signs that already have the name in it. My camera wants to keep going out of focus again. So yeah, I think this is the biggest fluke the city has invested in for probably as long as I've been alive. But despite the naming change, right? I'm still gonna I think for now I'm still gonna call it Dundas. I'm still gonna call Dundas subway station Dundas whatever. It's really just a waste of time, waste of taxpayers' money. It's just not gonna do any good. If you undedicate the whole Henry Dundas thing, it costs you nothing, right? But anyway, that's really all I have to say about that. I apologize if I stumbled a little bit here because, I had to read off a news article so I don't stumble and then try to give my best thoughts and opinions on the whole renaming controversy. So yeah, big shame on you to the city of Toronto for passing this motion and for just coming up with a pretty stupid name that I don't think anybody is probably going to be calling it. So remember, whenever the changes take effect, in my books, and probably for any other Torontonians' books, this will forever be Yonge-Dundas Square. I think they really should just use this money on more affordable housing, but $14 million, that's really expensive. That's pretty much the reason why they're just taking a pause on renaming the whole street, but unfortunately they're just going to get back to it. But for now, in the next 6 months, this will no longer be Yonge-Dundas Square, but it will be in my books. I don't care what any of you guys say. it'll still be that way. I'm too repetitive, but yeah, thanks for watching, and take care. Adios.